music video night, and we're honored, have some legends in the building to take us through, the heritage, millions of records sold, and really just being pioneers of the culture.
Most of you, I'm sure, know the Delicious Pizza was not the beginning of kind of the story of Delicious. Delicious Vinyl was the original story. It was a record label that I started with my partner, Matt Dyke, in 1987.
Delicious.
I went to UCLA. Matt was DJing at this club called the Rhythm Lounge. It was this funky club where a lot of the OGs used to hang out.
I mean, Matt Dyke, I wish he was here.
I do too.
He was the cutest guy on the planet. He was super cute. Like, look at his pictures. He was like, I was like love at first sight. Like, anybody who met Matt fell in love with him. He was the DJ, but I knew him before because he worked at Larry Gagosian Gallery and I worked at Eureka Cantor Gallery, and we were assigned to take care of Jean-Michel Basquiat when he came here to work. I can't tell you how influential Matt Dyke was on, my life, but also the LA scene. Matt had come from New York with Fred Sutherland. They were doing like area in New York, so they kind of did this LA version of it.
Matt then started this club called Power Tools, which was a huge club in LA, about 85. And I used to DJ there with him. And we just started thinking that we could maybe do it ourselves as far as making records instead of just playing them. Matt had found a little card that said Delicious Sandwiches on it. And he thought it'd be a great idea, a great logo for a label if we flipped it up. So we flipped it up. Instead of it being Delicious Sandwiches with the homie, we called it Delicious Vinyl. And that's kind of how the label logo started. So then we started messing around with beats. We got an SB12, which was a sampler that kind of changed the game, if you know anything about drum machines. And we started messing around with sampling records we liked, and we needed a rapper because we didn't know anybody that rapped. So we were in this record pool, and I had a friend in the record pool. He gave me the number of his cousin, and his name was Anthony Smith.
What you looking at? Hey. MC Tone Local.
This kid, it was a number on a piece of paper. And I called him up, and he said, hello. And I went, wow, his voice was amazing. And I said, I don't know if he can rap, but he sounds great. So
and we go a little something like this.
Hip-hop was kind of going through a renaissance. It was kind of the second phase of hip-hop. This kind of different style of laid-back rap, and Tone had a voice that was kind of very laid-back. We took him to the studio, and we started working on making records with him. Look, hold on a minute. We got off somehow. I don't want to hear what fucked up. Matt was amazing on the drum machine. It was putting together crazy beats, and we got Tone in the studio and put him in the vocal booth and started making records. And that's really how Delicious Vinyl started.
What's up?
We made this record called Wild Thing, and it was just kind of sitting in the can. And I just made a deal with Chris Blackwell to have distribution because we didn't have any distribution at the time. But he liked the music we were doing, so we figured we needed a video. Matt had a relationship with Tamra, and that's how I met Tamra.
Matt had, this new, thing that he was doing. He was DJing. He started a label, and I was doing music videos at the time. I wanted to be a filmmaker, and I think I was like doing the Smiths and Depeche Mode and Husker Du, and I was doing like these college radio alternative rock videos, and Matt loved that music. So Matt was also really into that music. Matt said, let's rip off the Robert Palmer
Addicted to Love video.
Addicted to Love video.
So if you guys remember that video, it's Robert Palmer and a bunch of hot chicks. Me and Tone were super tight, and Matt didn't want to have any part of trying to tell Tone to put on a suit to kind of rip off this video. So that was my gig, and let's just say it didn't go well.
I'm staring at me. I'm telling you. I'm an OG guy. I'm from Los Angeles, California, right?
And Tone's like looking at me like I'm out of my goddamn mind. Shows Tone's instincts were always actually great. It would have been a complete disaster if he wore that suit.
And then I met this girl, Lisa Ann, on the dance floor. Matt and I watched her little butt go back and forth one night, And I went up to her and asked her if she would be in the video, and you'll
Good
see
call.
it was a
Great
good call. So Lisa Ann is featured in that video from Matt and I just being obsessed with her one night. When he did that first take, it was one wide shot. We pushed play, and I just had the wide shot filming. He was a star.
Working all week, 9 to 5 for my money. So when the weekend comes, I go get live with the honey. Rolling down the street, I saw this girl when she was pumping. I winked my eyes, got into the ride, went to a club and was jumping.
Absolutely.
It was insane. He'd never done anything like that before. We'd never seen him perform.
Tone didn't really even hadn't really been a rapper seriously
It was like,
before I met him.
he
So
just did that. That was take one.
Wow, fine.
Superstar.
super
Nobody had ever seen
charismatic,
that.
super funny,
Matt
super.
and I just like died. We looked at each other like, oh my God. We did those like early videos back in the day, and they're filled with LA culture. And even just watching this, like seeing these landmarks that aren't there anymore,
wash
just the
on
car
the
wash on
Sunset.
Sunset, and yeah,
It was
and
a little
just,
more
like,
innocent time. You got Def Jeff chasing
Yeah.
D around.
Sister D Barnes, other half of Body and Soul. The one we did in New York, that's my favorite because we snuck out.
Body and soul is high powered.
High powered. And we just went out in Times Square in the middle of the night. It was like midnight. Tamra was like, all right, let's go. We were like, where are we going? We're going to do a video. I was like, okay. And we were out in the street just shooting, some incredible footage.
Time to ignite, explode, and unload another episode. Cause no one has showed us that they know how to do it the right way. We hear the others making effort, but it's just not quite the way.
Tamra Davis, we're going to go through some of her work, get an opportunity to let you tell your story.
I went to LA City College, to the film
Dope.
school right here. Yep, LACC. And I put together what bands I wanted on it, the script, the whole package. And one of the videos that I made with the film equipment from LACC, like a record company saw it, and then I thought I was going to get in trouble when they called me in for a meeting, and instead it was, can you do this same thing for another act for like $50,000? And I was like, yeah. And so I became a music video director. So I had kind of like a different look, and they didn't care that I was a girl. In those days, it was really hard to work if you were a girl filmmaker. And so in music videos, they didn't really care. I just got job after job, and it was super fun.
Just to kind of transition
Yeah.
from this whole Delicious Vinyl is Bust a
Yeah.
Move.
Bust it.
It won a Grammy. It was actually the most watched video on MTV in the 80s.
I, had a Super 8 camera from LA City the LA City School. It's like that was part of the scene in LA.
This here's a jam for all the fellas. Try to do what those ladies tell us. Get shot down cause you're overzealous. Play hard to get females get jealous.
I learned a lot about working with artists, working with crew, what I could do in a day. I think like all those people were all the people that you would see at the club. I think everybody here was in that video. Like it wasn't like that gangster side of of LA. It was a celebration, I feel. Makes you feel good.
Cause he likes the groove, so come on Fatso and just bust the move.
My name is Marvin Young. My stage name is Young MC. And been rapping here in LA for a couple of months now. Originally from New York. Came out to LA to go to school, go to USC, and just been, kicking it.
Actually, just to kind of get into
Yeah.
kind of cultures colliding in a sense, is the
Yeah.
next one, which is Sonic Youth.
Yeah.
Cool Thing.
I had no money to shoot the video. It was low budget. I had no set, and so I covered the production office in foil. So you'll see that it's an aluminum foil set, which is the production office. And then we went just down on the street and just shot that without any permits. Like some of her earlier videos have that kind of Patty Hearst kind of imagery. So yeah, I feel like Kim was always kind of like trying to rebel and push things, and definitely this video, I love corporate white male oppression. It's still like prominent.
Are you gonna liberate us girls from male, white, corporate
so Chuck D, he could never give me a day that he would appear in the video, so I literally stalked him, and I knew that he was in like a record company uptown, and I took a cab up there and a camera and just accosted him in a hallway and got him to do it right there. It's like by any means necessary filmmaking.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
There's another East Coast artist, which is MC Light. The Cha 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 video.
Kick this one here for me and my DJ. You can cha-cha-cha to this Mardi Gras. I'm the dopest female that you've heard thus far. And I do get better. The voice gets wetter. Nobody gets hurt.
As long as you let.
Wow, MC Light video. I have not seen this in a while. I mean, you know, the New York girl rap scene was like, it was hardcore. It was really amazing. And MC Light was like, she was kind of the queen. Like, she was really respected. Everybody was like, MC Light, MC Light. So I was really like lucky to work with her. And I was kind of really intimidated before I met her. Like, she's kind of scared me. But then she was really, really nice. So that was cool. But I kind of made a video that showed like how she's so tough like that. So, you know, the video kind of shows her being like super badass. We shot it like in New York, Governor's Island. Like, we went somewhere far to shoot it, and it was like haunted, and it was crazy. This was like, I'm pretty sure it was like the time I was like submitted a treatment. I was kind of known for doing rap videos at the time, and definitely looks like it was shot by Lisa Rinsler. She was the DP. She like came out of, she used to shoot with my Robert Mapplethorpe, and so you can see like that's why it's such beautiful black and white. And I introduced her to the Hughes brothers, and she shot Menace to Society and Dead Presidents.
Shocking, I'm the one you're mocking. Oh yes.
I was like a successful rap video director at that time, and I got a call from Eazy-E, and he said he wanted to meet me because he had an artist.
You're looking for a new act, man.
Yeah, man, who is this?
It's the DOC.
Yeah, we looking for new acts, man, but let me tell you something, man. We're looking for somebody that's funky.
The DOC's dope.
Let's go find him, man.
Yeah.
And so he had me meet him at the president of Capitol Records office. So I go up to meet him there, and he's sitting behind the president's desk. And he was like, I was like, what are you doing? Like, you're not the president of Capitol Records.
Y'all ready for this?
He was like, I kicked the MF out because I wanted to show you how, like, what kind of power I have. You know, I want you to do this video for the DOC.
1, and then comes the 2 to the 3 and 4. Then I drop the beat I have in store. Lay the lyrics on the top like a rug. Make it sound smooth and later make it.
That was like, I laughed at that. Like, it didn't intimidate me. It didn't scare me. I thought it was actually kind of funny that he pulled that move. It was interesting. He loved filmmaking. He like really wanted to be a producer and make movies and make films, and so I made that with him, and then I made the DOC, the Doc and the Doctor, and I made a short film with him while I was doing that, and I did a couple videos for those guys. I was watching like film noir. You'll see the style. Lisa Rinsler shot that as well.
Let's get funky, 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 let's get funky. Watch the smooth lyrics that take place.
I wanted to know what you're doing now.
I've been doing a lot of television. I find that I can work with young, talented people or like classic, great people. Like, it's so fun to be working with Queen Latifah still, and you know, we go so back so far. But I'm so grateful that I'm like one of the few women that still work all the time, and it's a tough business. I'm surrounded by men all day long, and I'm so grateful to be there representing. Yeah, thanks you guys for putting this together. It's amazing.